मंत्र ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। हरि ओम तत्सत्। हरे कृष्ण। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जना शलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति सोपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुं श्रीयुधपदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पदे गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोस्तुते। तप्तकाञ्चन गौरांगी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरूपश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। हरे कृष्ण। ओम नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवतीमुत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठुकी। मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्य ईश्वरं। वाञ्छाकल्पतरूपस्य कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय। गुरु महाराज की जय। नित्याय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। हरे कृष्णा। श्रीमद् भागवतम फर्स्ट कांडो फर्स्ट 7th chapter श्लोका नंबर 17। इति प्रियां valgu-vicitra-jalpaiḥ sāntvayitvācyuta-mitra-sūtaḥ anvādravad daṁśita ugra-dhanvā kapi-dhvajo guru-putram rathena। इति priyāṁ valgu-vicitra-jalpaiḥ sāntvayitvā acyuta-mitra-sūtaḥ anvādravad daṁśita ugra-dhanvā kapi-dhvajo guru-putram rathena। इति priyāṁ valgu-vicitra synonymous word meaning इति thus priyāṁ unto the dear valgu sweet vicitra variegated jalpaiḥ by statements sa he sāntvayitvā satisfying acyuta-mitra-sūtaḥ Arjuna who is guided by the infallible Lord as a friend and a driver, anvādravad followed, daṁśita being protected by kavaca, ugra-dhanvā equipped with furious weapons, kapi-dhvajaḥ Arjuna, guru-putram the son of the material teacher, martial teacher, rathena getting on the chariot. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Translation. Arjuna who is guided by the infallible Lord as friend and driver thus satisfied the dear lady by such statements. Then he dressed in armor and armed himself with furious weapons and getting into his chariot he set out to the follow Aśvatthāmā the son of his martial teacher. Ashutosh Pro, we can go through the next sloka also, but before that we can a little bit understanding about the situation, Prabhuji. Actually, here the SRIMAD BHAGAVATAM is the total sum of the nectar of all Vedas as well as Idihasas, Puranas and everything. So, actually, Vyasadeva narrate this SRIMAD BHAGAVATAM before that he compiled everything, all Vedas, Upanishads and Puranas, Idihasas, everything he compiled very nicely. And last Vedanta Sutra, that also he completed. But even though he completed everything, he feel dissatisfaction. So he meditated upon Lord Vishnu. On that time, Narada Muni appeared in front of him and advised to him that you didn't wrote anything about the nectar or leela of Krishna, so that you feel not happy. What is it meaning? Actually, if a human being or we going behind the Vedas or any scriptures, Upanishads and any Shastra, then never feel any full happy. That is the number one example, Vyasadeva. He wrote everything, but he also not feeling good or satisfaction. So from that point, we can understand that if we going behind any Shastra like Vedas, Upanishads and everything, even though we are following that very strictly, but we didn't get a full satisfaction. But when he got the full satisfaction, after compiling this SRIMAD BHAGAVATAM, as a Bhagavata Dharma, by the advice of Sri Narada Muni, so that he feel very happy. So our Acharya is saying that if we going behind SRIMAD BHAGAVATAM as well as Bhagavad Gita, by these two granthas, we can feel unlimited happiness. That is the reality. Especially for Kali Yuga people, they are wandering everywhere for seeking happiness. But never we can attain full happiness. But due to the transcendental knowledge of SRIMAD BHAGAVATAM as well as the Bhagavad Gita, only we can attain the permanent happiness. That is the reality. So now Vyasadeva is starting to writing this SRIMAD BHAGAVATAM. Before that, he want to a connection between the Vedas and this transcendental knowledge. So we think about the commentary of Vedanta Sutra as this SRIMAD BHAGAVATAM, but he thinking that when I need to start or from where I need to start. Actually, Vyasadeva started from the end of Mahabharata. Mahabharata story he selected to start the SRIMAD BHAGAVATAM. Why? Because the Bhagavan is talking with Arjuna or discussing with Arjuna about the material life as well as spiritual life, how we can combine together. That is, we got as a Sri Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan's Vani. That is placed in between the SRIMAD Mahabharata story in Bhishma Parva. That chapter included this Bhagavad Gita. Actually, Mahabharata story Vyasadeva compiled for Kali Yuga people, especially for less intelligent person as well as ladies and Shudras. Why? Because that is the story like he narrated, so that very easily we can understand what is the reality. So that he placed the Bhagavad Gita in between that stories. So Bhagavad Gita actually Bhagavan's Vani means that it's totally transcendental. But SRIMAD BHAGAVATAM is the science of Krishna, that is also transcendental. So how he connected the two transcendental granthas knowledge with the material knowledge. Material knowledge means the Vedas are totally explaining about how we can live very nicely in this material world. So that is attaining so many demigods. We can perform very nicely the worship of demigods. Then we can attain the perfect of material opulence. Very high opulent we can achieve by worshipping 33 crores of demigods. But this Sri Krishna and this SRIMAD BHAGAVATAM and Bhagavad Gita is totally different than the material thing. Because Bhagavan and Bhagavan's Shastra is totally transcendental. So he connected with this transcendental knowledge with the material knowledge, with the bridge, like a bridge. The Bhagavad Gita is placed in between the Mahabharata story. That is the connection. And last, this SRIMAD BHAGAVATAM he wrote by the help of the Vedanta Sutra. Vedanta Sutra means the all nectar. Only he collected from all Vedas, Upanishads and every Shastra. He collected as a nectar and he compiled the Vedanta Sutra. And the Vedanta Sutra is also a very big one, huge one. Where the Kali Yuga people only limited ayus, the alpayusha. So we cannot attain fully the Vedanta Sutra. So he narrated this Srimad Bhagavatam of the whole nectar. So Amala Purana means didn't touch any contamination like a material thing. This is totally the transcendental knowledge only. So that Vyasadeva very easily compiled this Srimad Bhagavatam by the advice of Narada Muni and the help of the Vedanta Sutra. So Vedanta Sutra means included every points touching in Vedas and Upanishads and Idihasas, everything. So we can also find out the small points collecting from whole Vedas, especially Vedanta Sutra and Mahabharata, Ramayana, every point he included in this Srimad Bhagavatam. In first canto, third chapter, we discussed about the Sri Rama Avadara, and there Ramayana is little bit also, he convey the nectar. Same way, here Mahabharata story is narrating, trying to express the connection between the Parishit Maharaj and as well as the Mahabharata stories. So here we can conclude the story that now the situation is the Aśvatthāmā, the son of Drona, he killed the all sons, grandsons of Draupadi, Panchali. So that Draupadi got very sad and she cannot tolerate the loss of her sons. So that she cried and attained Arjuna. Arjuna can also cannot saw the fully water-filled eyes of Draupadi. She cannot bear. So that he advised to Draupadi, don't worry, I will kill who is the person killed our children, grandchildren, so that immediately I will kill him and you can stand the head of that killer and you can bath nicely so that your sadness will go. Likewise, Arjuna given the vow to Draupadi and he started to following this Aśvatthāmā. That is explained this sloga. Arjuna, he is guided by the infallible Lord, that is Krishna. Krishna, he himself as a Parthasarathi. Parthasarathi means the driver of chariot of Arjuna, and with the help of Krishna, he is fully encharged with the power to kill the Aśvatthāmā. Likewise, he is ready with his dress and his all weapons and everything. He is ready to kill Aśvatthāmā, and he following the Aśvatthāmā by the chariot, through the chariot. That is the essence of this sloga. So that we can also go to next sloga, sloga number 18. I will read 18. Okay. Tamapadantam savilakshya dural kumaraho digna rathena paradraval prana paripsururvyam yavat gamam rudra bhayadyatha. Haribol Hare Krishna. That is the word meaning I will recite. Tam, him, avatanandam, coming over furiously, sa, he, vilakshya, seeing, durat, from the distance, kumaraha, the murder of the princess, uddigna mana, disturbed in mind, rathena, on the chariot, paradravad, flood, prana, life, paripusha, paripsu, for protecting, urvya, with a great speed, Yavat Gama, as he fled Rudra-bhayad, by fear of Shiva, Yada, as Ka, Brahma, or Arka Surya. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. Aśvatthāmā, the murder of the princess, seeing from a great distance Arjuna coming at him with a great speed, fled in his chariot, panic-stricken, just to save his life, as Brahma fled in fear from Shiva. Haribol, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. Actually, here explaining about the Arjuna's power, how he ran behind the Aśvatthāmā. Actually, that much powerful, like Lord Shiva going behind Brahma. That is happened once upon a time. That means any one of the Brahma. Actually, there is so many Brahmas are there. Not only one Brahma, for we can understand the four-headed Brahma. That is only one Brahma. Other Brahmas are, so many Brahmas are there. Because so many Brahmandas are there. Each Brahmanda have each Brahma. So, in our Brahmanda, the Brahmaji have four-headed. Same way, another Brahmandas have, another Brahmajis have so many heads. Maybe one head, so many, maybe 10 head Brahma, so maybe 100 head of Brahma. Like so many Brahmajis are there. In any one of the Brahmanda, any one of the Brahmaji, while he created the living entities, first he created the Vak-Devi. Vak-Devi means Saraswati. He created this Vak-Devi as a beautiful lady. So immediately Brahmaji little bit affair towards that beautiful lady, so that he want to enjoy with that lady. So he run behind that lady. She actually she doesn't know anything. She grown up very nicely as a beautiful lady, but she saw that the Brahmaji who is created her, he is coming behind her and attaining her. So this while the Lord Shiva looking that this situation, Shiva got a big angry towards Brahma. What are you doing? She is your daughter, no? So you didn't approach her like this love affair, not possible. So that Lord Shiva angry with the Brahma and he run behind the Brahma to kill Brahma. Likewise happened. Actually, this situation is while Maitreya Muni is advising to Uddhava, Maitreya Muni is advising to Vidura. On that time, Vidura also asked this question. Once upon a time, Lord Brahma also, with the fear of Lord Shiva, he ran, no? That what is that situation? He asked. The third canto is explaining this detail. Brahma, while Brahma creating this beautiful lady, Vak-Devi, on that time he little bit affair towards that lady, so that he want to enjoy her. So Lord Shiva doesn't like that. So Shiva tried to kill Brahma. That is also explained in the third canto. On that time, what did Brahma? Brahma recognized that, yeah, I did a small mistake. Not a small, very big mistake. I never attained this girl, daughter, so that I need to suicide. Likewise, he gave up his body and he gained another new body, same as a Brahma. So that the faultless creation he want to done after that, so that he take the blessings from Lord Vishnu, that kindly bless me if any I cannot do any, I want to don't commit mistake any thing like this small great mistake I did in my previous janma. Likewise that Brahma, that janma also Brahma's janma, but now he gave up the Brahma's body, again he attained Brahma's body again, second time. That happened in any one of the Brahmanda and any one of the Brahma is happened. That story is also given here, very small, with a small sentence like Brahma fled in fear of from Shiva. Likewise, comparison is given that the Arjuna is got a very great angry towards Aśvatthāmā. That great angry we need to understand about the Lord Shiva's angry, because we can understand that Shiva is a Kshiprakopi. Kshiprakopi means he is the anger person. Actually, he is a very kind as well as very great anger. So that much anger Arjuna got. So we need to understand about the Arjuna's position. So this line wrote here in this sloka. And the purport also given here that once upon a time one Asura is named as Vidyutmali. Vidyut means the most powerful. Likewise, he was a most powerful Asura, and he win each and every demigods, Indra, Chandra, Varuna. Likewise, he attacking and he attain everything. And after that, he going behind the sun god. Sun god means sun god is giving very nice light and heat to the all living entities, and he is the whole protector of everything. Likewise, sun god is doing his duty by the obeying his master Lord Krishna, so that he is doing very nicely. But this Asura Vidyutmali want to win the sun god also, so that he went with a very nice aeroplane, and from this aeroplane actually made up of gold, melted gold. With that, he flying through the behind the sun god. Then what happened? Due to the effulgence of that Vimana, that aeroplane, so that everywhere become lightened. But sun god, after sunset, there is no light. Dark is there. Then only the all reproduction will occurring on that time. That is, the fruits is become seeds, and the plants, and every the birds and animals and human being also making reproduction one night days time. But due to the effulgence of this Vidyutmali, so that there is no dark. So sun god become very angry to him. Due to the most power of sun god's heat energy, the aeroplane of this Vidyutmali got get melted, and it's come to down. Likewise happened. So that is also explained here. Here, what is the use of explain this story here? That to understand that much angry have Arjuna, so that in the purport Prabhupada shows each and every angry position or situation of Lord Shiva, as well as Lord Sun God, as well as the Vidyutmali. That is the all Prabhuji. That's only explained throughout the purport also. Okay, slogan number 19. Yeda sharanatmanai makshada sāntvayitvācyuta-mitra-sūtaḥ astram brahmashiro mene atmatranam dijatmaja. Word meaning: yada, when, asharanam, without being alternatively protected, atmana, his own self, aikshada, saw, sāntvayitvā, the horses being tired, astram, weapon, brahma shira, the topmost or ultimate nuclear weapon, mene, applied, atmatranam, just to save himself, dija atmaja, the son of Brahmana. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. When the son of the Brahmana, Aśvatthāmā, saw that his horses were tired, he considered that there was no alternative for protection outside of his using the ultimate weapon, the Brahmastra, nuclear weapon. Haribol Ashutosh Prabhuji, can you? Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. Actually, here explaining about the Aśvatthāma's situation. What he saw? Actually, Arjuna with a great angry, he is following him. So immediately Aśvatthāmā got losing his strength and power. Then he understanding that just the Arjuna when touching me, I will surely kill by Arjuna. So I doesn't want to kill from Arjuna. So that he against Arjuna he used the Brahmastra. Brahmastra means the nuclear weapon. Nowadays modern science find out so many nuclear weapon, but not compare, we cannot assume that same as the nuclear weapon whatever used in the previous yugas. Actually his Brahmastra is equivalent to nuclear weapon, but Brahmastra actually totally working under the control of mantras, because we can understand that each astra weapons are used on that days is simply by using the mantras. Whatever mantra we are meditating on our mind, and sankalpa, with sankalpa any one grass blade or blade of a grass we can consider as a weapon, and reciting the mantras, that much power of mantra is imparted to that blade of grass, then it will act like a weapon. That much in our Kurukshetra war also, so many soldiers used different types of mantras and different types of weapons. And here also the Brahmastra is the number one nuclear weapon by reciting mantras. That mantra is learned from his father Dronacharya, as well as the Dronacharya Guru. It teaches the student of this Arjuna as well as this his son Drona-putra or Aśvatthāmā. Both of them understand how you can use the Brahmastra. But Arjuna can only recall the Brahmastra mantra. But unfortunately Aśvatthāmā doesn't know about how to recall this Brahmastra. He can only throw the Brahmastra, but he cannot recall the Brahmastra. That is the negative side of this astra. Each and every weapon have both sides, introducing as well as withdrawing. That both mantra we should understand. Each and every warrior should know about these mantras very well. Then only we can use the mantras very truly and very successfully. But unfortunately this Aśvatthāmā doesn't know how to withdraw the Brahmastra weapon. But here he thinking about using the Brahmastra towards Arjuna. That is very critical condition. That is very not good for Arjuna. Actually the Brahmastra, when recite the proper mantra to convey the using the Brahmastra or any weapon by the mantra, then surely it will destroy opposite party. That is the thing. So at the last moment the Aśvatthāmā thinking that this Brahmastra he need to apply on Arjuna. So he ready to make that astra. For that he reciting the mantra for Brahmastra. Here in the purport explaining about the Brahmastra application is already covered, and the word Dvijatmaja is significant here because Aśvatthāmā, although son of Dronacharya, was not exactly a qualified Brahmana. Dvijatmaja means Brahmana Bandhu. Brahmana Bandhu means for example, Acharyas are saying that if we born in a doctor family, that means mother is doctor as well as father is also doctor. But the son of the doctor family, we cannot call them as a doctor. Why? Because that student or son, he must completed the entrance exam as well as completed the MBBS degree. After that some specialization, then only we can call him as a doctor. But same way in our family or in society, like a Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, how they developed? Actually not by birth. If we took a birth in a Brahmana family, nobody will call us a Brahmana. only calling as a Brahmana Bandhu or Dvijatmaja. Likewise, they will call. After completing our Brahmanical position, that means who can understand the Brahman, then only that person is position as a Brahmana. Brahmana means who can understand the Brahma, then only Brahma. Brahman means Parabrahman. That is Jnanina Tattva Darshinaha. Bhagavad Gita is saying that who can understand the Tattva, then that person only awarded as a Brahmana. But here, Dvijatmaja, the Aśvatthāmā, is he born in a Brahmana family, but he is not qualified as a Brahmana. So, in Kali Yuga, we all are born in a Shudra category because we are serving other position person as a manager or house. In a house, we are serving together. We are serving our kids, we are serving our husband, we are serving our wife. Likewise is going on, so that we are the servant mentality. Shudras are the servant mentality. So Acharya is saying that in Kali Yuga, all people are serving like a Shudras only. We are not qualified at that much Brahmanic level or Kshatriya level or Vaishya level. By karma, by guna, we can attain that each and every position like a Brahmana, Kshatriya or Vaishya. That is explained in the Bhagavad Gita. Chadur Varnyam Maya Srishtam Guna Karma Vibhagasha. By the guna and karma, we can attain the highest position like a Brahmana. So, if we born in a Shudra family, doesn't matter. If we born as a lady, doesn't matter. If we follow the rules and regulations and the Brahmanical qualification, attaining Brahmanical qualification, we can also consider as a Brahmana. That is the custom in the Kali Yuga. So here Aśvatthāmā is even though he is a son of Brahmana, but he doesn't know anything about Brahmanyam. He is not much qualified as a Brahmana. So he called as a Dvijatmaja. And although Drona was not exactly a qualified Brahmana, the most intelligent man is called Brahmana, and it is not a hereditary title. Aśvatthāmā was also formerly called the Brahma Bandhu. Brahma Bandhu means Brahmana Bandhu. Brahmana Bandhu means he is a son of Brahmana, but quality wise he is same like Shudra. Likewise he is low level Brahmana is there. And being a friend of a Brahmana does not mean that one is the Brahmana by qualification. A friend or son or a Brahmana, when fully qualified, can be called a Brahmana, and not otherwise we cannot call him as a Brahmana. Since Aśvatthāmā's decision is immature, he is purposely called herein the son of Brahmana. So that the not much qualified as a Brahmanic level is Aśvatthāmā, so that he is called as a Brahmana Bandhu. That is explained throughout the purport. So if anybody is qualified as a Brahmana, then that person we can consider as a equal to Brahmana. Actually, Vaishnavas, we all are serving Krishna directly in our house or in a temple, so that that person is more qualified than a Brahmana. So Vaishnavas are greater than Brahmanic position. That is the situation is ruled by, or situation is advised by our Acharyas. How we can perform very nicely as a Brahmana, and how we can perform nicely serve to Krishna by the guidance of spiritual master, then we can attain the Brahmanical position. That is the situation. As actually the Vaishnavas are the topmost position of the society. Hari Bol, Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. What else, Prabhuji? Hare Krishna. Please unmute. Any doubt is there? Kindly discuss. Or Ashraj Prabhuji, can you